Welcome to VDG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. There's something about football that just makes me a little terrified, that makes me a little batty, that makes me a little cray-cray. But in the same breath, in that same contradiction, it's why I heart enjoy and want to see it so much more, period. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. If you don't already know, now you know. You've been told. I can continue telling you more and more every day if needed be. But you need rest. You need rest in football. All of that running around, unless you play negative football, unless you're about the negativity, unless you're about the hate of life. You're about the hate of life. You just sit back and you just give away possession. You just give away the ball. You don't care to have the ball. You don't care to run around. You don't care to do the things that make the sport beautiful, to make the game amazing, to make the game worthwhile to watch. This doesn't apply to you because you don't run around. You don't have a plan outside of waiting to pounce on the other team mistakes. Yeah, that's philosophy, that's a plan, but that ain't for me. Ain't for me. Besides, you can rest on your day off. And that's what leads me to this. Footballers need rest, while at the same time the game is still growing. Imagine that. 8 billion plus, and the game is still growing. The game is still getting bigger. There's more and more demand to see more and more football. More and more football is playing. More and more tournaments. More and more everything. Yes, there's going to reach a point where it's too much. Yes, there's going to reach that level where you need to bring it back down because there's too many injuries or there's not enough quality on the pitch. Unless you got Billionaire. Unless you got billionaire owners with deep pocket in this team or squad is they plaything, is they play toy. It's what makes them want to say, look at me. I ain't flossing. I am the floss. Look at this. We win. Or they probably want to say I win, but I'll give them the we this time. And that's the downside of this. That's the downside of the growth. That's the downside of the population booming. That's the downside of how money is running wild in the game, in the sport. There's going to be more. And with more, there's going to be some unintended consequences that's come about. Like players getting hurt, players getting injured. A lot of teams that used to can compete can't compete anymore because they're priced out. Or some smaller clubs can't really compete because they don't have the squad. They don't have the depth to play all of these games. But you're probably thinking to yourself, who would want to see them? Football fanatics, football supporters, those who just watch the game because it's enjoyable. Even if it's not their team playing, there's something for everybody. There's something for anyone who has the time. And I'm saving the best for last. There are no commercials. There are no commercials stopping play. There's no commercials within the game that's you gotta tune out for. I know. I get it. Most of you who really don't care for sport, you're there for the commercials. What is a halftime? After the 45 minutes of torture, you get a little breaksy. In that little breaksy, there's the show for you. Or here's a cheat code. If you look up at the time, if you look throughout the stadium, there's advertising, there's ads there for you. So you really can get the same enjoyment that you get from watching ads in a regular sport or a different sport. It's there. You just have to pay attention and look harder. But while I do enjoy having multiple games, being able to watch anytime, anywhere, on demand, off demand, live and in action, live and in person. There's a downside. There's a downside. Players hurt, injuries, and then it's just going to become of who has the biggest bank. Big bank take little bank. Big bank take little bank.